Well, yeah, I'm proud of the guys. We say every game that we have a moment of silence for those less fortunate than ourselves. And then we say, you don't have to be perfect. You have to give your best and you have to do it together. And I think through the adversity that we've experienced this year, we're finally really coming together. I think the group right now is really locked in on the team. And I think everything we've experienced is making us closer. You'd love to win a game easy, but then they never really turn out like that. But I don't think you could script this any better because the last 3 games have been really tight and we haven't finished and we've had a cloud of doubt hanging over us. And we couldn't, we talked about not acting like something's happening to us, that we got to go take one. And we did that tonight, so I'm proud of these guys.
Appreciate it, Coach. Gentlemen, if you go ahead with questions.
They didn't score a point. They didn't score a basket in the last 6:23. They just had 2 free throws. Is that what does that say about your defense, the way you guys dug in crunch time tonight?
Well, I don't know what the numbers say right now, but we've been on the majority of the year, we've been the worst defensively that we've been since I've been here. Probably one of the worst defensive teams in the league on the whole. But over the last couple of weeks, our defense has improved and it continues to improve. And it goes back to these guys making a commitment to doing what it takes to win. And I think they've recognized that we've been poor defensively. And if we don't change that, we're going to continue to struggle. And so I think what you're talking about there is a reflection of that commitment that these guys are making to try to get better right now.
Coach, I think you've kind of been looking for one of the seniors maybe to take a step up. And I think all 3 of them probably played their best game in a couple of weeks tonight, just at the same time. Just kind of, do you think, is that what you're looking for from your senior leaders to give you that, especially that late play by Justin and the free throws?
Of course. The reason why the expectations were high for our team is because we had experienced guys coming back. We got 4 guys that have been all conference at one time or another. So, how long can you keep a good man down? And we got some good men and they've struggled and we've tried to balance holding them to a high standard and giving them hope and encouragement. And I feel like it's connected us. And now we needed some success so that we'd have something to build on and a frame of reference for what that commitment that we need to make looks like. And getting the results matter. And we got contributions from a lot of guys too. Colin was tremendous when he was in the game. Everybody that went in the game made a contribution. So I'm proud of it.
And Jalen moved out of the starting lineup tonight and put up that performance. That maybe wasn't the intended goal. Maybe you were giving Jaheim a start, but encouraging to see that he responded to not being in the starting lineup fine and put up a good game.
But certainly his response from a performance standpoint was terrific. But his response even to the news that he was going to be coming out of the starting lineup was a real sign of maturity and unselfishness. So it's not a surprise that he played well in the game because he really was more concerned about what was best for the team. And so I'm proud of him more for that than the performance, but we needed the performance tonight, obviously, too.
Hey, Coach Marcel to Sports Inquirer. You forced 20 turnovers and scored 20 points off of them, and that proved to be the difference in the games. What about the defensive effort and being able to convert those turnovers into points for your offense?
Yeah, it was great. We had 13 turnovers ourselves, which we'd like to cut that number down because some of them were unforced. But, yeah, we felt like we could wear on them. It was obvious early in the game that the pressure had an effect. And we kept it up. And it was also, we went back to the rotation that has kind of governed our play the last couple of years. This was the first game that we were able to rotate guys in and out of the game so that we can maintain the pressure throughout the course of the game. So generally, we don't play guys more than 4 or 5 minutes at a time at the pace that we're trying to play. And I turn to our GAs, and I would generally say I ask him how long a guy's been in. If he's in 4 or 5 minutes, I generally make a sub. Prior to the last couple of weeks, I would ask a guy, he'd be like 10 minutes. How long has Corey been in? 9 minutes. And so we really couldn't play the way we want to play. And today was the first time we really looked like the team that we've been in the past.
The shooting percentages still maybe weren't where you want them to be, but it seemed like for a lot of the game today, you were staying in a flow, wasn't pressing, forcing early looks, and that ended up paying off with enough made shots in the end.
Yeah, we got good shooters, and if good shooters keep taking good shots, they're going to go in. So, I'm not going to get too deep into their head about that. We just want them to take good shots, and I think sometimes guys can be stubborn about what a really good shot is. But again, I think we're in a space right now mentally where they're receiving our message. And that's evident in what you guys were talking about earlier defensively. I think it's hard to be a good defensive team and be a selfish offensive team at the same time. When you're as bad as we've been defensively, selfishness can creep in on the other end. So I think by improving defensively, it's just a matter of time because we've got good offensive players. And I think we got guys that care about one another. I think the shooting numbers will start to turn in our favor because we're just too good. We got too many good offensive players for the numbers to stay the way they've been.
Last minute, Justin had a rebound, a big basket down there, a steal, and then the 2 free throws at the end to ice it. Is that just going back to just being a senior and having the experience and leaning on that kind of thing?
Yeah, it goes back to just being engaged too. Justin was engaged from the outset, communicating with me. What are we in? What are we doing? There've been a stretch. We talked about the way Jalen handled coming out of the starting lineup. When Justin came out of the starting lineup earlier here, he didn't handle it like that. And we've talked about that. And he's been a man about that conversation. And I appreciate him. And tonight he was really engaged and he was a floor leader. And, and we're getting better, I think, just as a team at owning our mistakes and not feeling like you're being picked on. We were going through a lot of that emotional type stuff. And I'm not trying to say we're out of the woods, but I definitely feel like this win tonight helps us a lot.
And I know you're not one for individual accomplishments, but what does 100 wins mean for you?
I'm grateful to Charlie and Dr. Becker for giving me this opportunity. It was 14 years from the time I left Siena that I couldn't even get a phone interview. But Georgia State believed in me and gave me this opportunity when no one else even considered me a viable candidate. So it means that I've been given a great opportunity and I approach it with great gratitude. And that particular accomplishment is a byproduct of the opportunity I've been given. And I'm thankful for that.
Hey, Coach, you have a quick turnaround going up to Monroe now. How do you spend the next few days just getting ready for that matchup in the state of Louisiana?
Well, we'll be well prepared. Chris Kreider has the scout. All of these guys do a good job getting us prepared. Cliff had us prepared. Jarvis had us prepared for the Coastal game. But I do think we got these guys' attention now. Chris will have these guys. He'll know exactly what we need to do and what they're all about. And so we'll watch some of what happened tonight. Not much because we got to turn the page. And we'll drive to Monroe. We'll have some time on the floor, but we can't do much physically. And a quick turnaround. Did they win tonight?
No, Southern won.
So we know it's going to be another hard-fought game, and they're well coached. I know that.